Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of March 15th through the 21st. And during that time, we bring in the waning crescent energy from last week, and that's a time of calm and stability when we're thinking about how we might want to grow, like what adjustments and changes we might want to make for the new moon as it comes up, because that happens on the 19th. So of course, a new moon is about a fresh start, new beginnings, good time to start new projects, inner or outer, or also just make new decisions. So keep that in mind. We then move into the waxing crescent energy, which is a time of heightened senses and a good time to just buckle down and start to work on those things that we've just started on the new moon, make adjustments and just get into the groove of doing the new thing or thinking the new way. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: a win-win outcome is forecast. Okay, that's never a bad thing when everybody is winning. As I'm shuffling the tarot for your reading this week, my fun weekly reminder is that you try to notice the universe this week for synchronicities. So this could be an animal that you see, maybe repeating number patterns. It could be a conversation that you overhear, which are just some words that you need to hear. And the way I would use that is, let's say you're walking in a store and you're alone and you hear people approaching and having a conversation, and a phrase jumps out at you with just kind of the answer to a question that maybe you've been asking yourself, and it has nothing to do with what they're talking, or their situation has nothing to do with your situation, but it's just words that you need to hear. I've had this happen so many times. Or another synchronicity is that you need some information and you're in a bookstore, and all of a sudden literally a book falls into your hands that is the information that you need, the thing that you're looking for, even though maybe the title has nothing to do with what you were thinking about. So those kind of things that just happen, and it's the universe saying, hey, here, try this, go this direction, this is a yes, this is a no. So keep your mind open and your eyes open for those synchronicities this week. All right, let's get into this reading. Sagittarius, March 15th through the 21st, a win-win outcome is forecast. Your present energy is the Ace of Cups. So here you are, just very open-hearted or very happy about something, very in love with something. Let me grab a drink here. We'll see as the reading comes out, but there's something, this could be a person, a thing, an idea, but there's something your heart's just overflowing about. So just some situation in your life, something that is making you happy and is making your heart happy, really. Your current situation is the Emperor. So the Emperor is about leadership and stability. And, the Emperor is about getting things done. It's an authority figure of some sort, but a lot of times this is an energy that you might take on if you're building something or working on a project that you're kind of in control of. You're delegating things to different people, and if you're involved in something like that, and that could be through work or this could even be some creative project that you're involved with, or some charitable project, just anything that you're doing where you feel like you're in control, you know what's going on. That's a nice feeling, and that's that feeling of the Emperor. At the root of your situation is the Chariot. Much like the Emperor, I feel like there's a few cards that kind of look like that, also sitting on their chariot throne, but ready to gather information to make a move. So the Chariot, nobody's really moving yet. And I always feel like the Chariot's about gathering the right information so that when this Chariot moves forward, everything's in place and everything's ready to go. So, think about if you're gathering some sort of information this week to make a bigger move. And it might be a bigger move to build something or to move into a place where you have a leadership position. You might be gathering the information to either get ready for a project like that, or think about if you're going to love a project like that, right? In your recent past, here is the Six of Cups. So This could be that this has come about because of some sentimental thing or something from your past. This could be someone from your past that has tapped you on the shoulder and thought of you to lead a project, to do something like this, to take on this leadership role. Could be someone you've worked with in the past or someone you grew up with, that is thinking, but there's something sentimental that's kind of the catalyst to put this into play, whatever this might be for you. But you're definitely thinking about, if you can do this role, are you going to love doing this role? And you might not be doing it yet with this chariot, but you're definitely gathering the information, thinking, is this something I want to do? And do I have everything in line to do this thing, to get it accomplished? What's on your mind this week is the Fool card, because of course this is a new journey. This would be something new for you to do. So this is a very interesting reading as it's coming out, but a win-win forecast is what your overall says. So it looks like if you do take this position, it's a win for you, but it's also a win for the people that are trying to get you into this position or trying to get you to do this thing for them, or it just everybody wins. You're the person for the job. What is just ahead of you this week is the Two of Pentacles here. So it probably what's on your mind, you're thinking about this new journey, but ahead of you is thinking, okay, can I juggle everything? Is there too much on my plate right now? Can I take this on and make it work with everything that's going on in my life? Or is it too much? Is it going to lead me to a place of instability? Or can I take it on and juggle things for a while, while I get this done, and kind of rearrange my life a little bit while I'm getting it done? So that'll be something that you need to ask yourself, but that's kind of ahead, is at least the thinking about that, is what can you juggle around to make this new position work for you? So that's something you'll have to think about. In your advice position here is the Devil card. So this is the card of, this is false truth, this is being insecure, this is fear of success, this is being closed-minded. So the Devil definitely shows up, and it's in the advice, and it's almost like, I would say in this case, the devil is literally in the details. So when you're thinking about these things and can you juggle, make sure that you're asking all of the right questions, when it comes to this project, to make sure it's something that you can take on. But don't let this devil get in your ear as a way of bringing self-doubt into this. If someone has the confidence to ask you to lead a thing, they have faith in you, right? They have faith that you can do this, that you are the right person for the job. Don't let those little insecurities from the devil get in the one ear that's telling you, no, you're not the right person, you can't do this, what are you doing? This is not a thing you can take on. That is false. That is not true. So definitely rely more on this person and their confidence in you than letting that devil get too much into your ear to talk you out of doing something that might be awesome. That might be, again, a win-win for everyone. All right, let's see. What's beyond your control this week is the Page of Swords. So with this will come a new way of communicating or a new thought. Pages are youth of the deck. And, many times it is about a new thought, a new idea. I mean, look how very close to even just the body position here that the page is to the Fool. This is like new journey. This is new way of communicating. So, um, and new ideas. If this idea has kind of come out of the blue for you, you're like, I never even thought of that. And it could be something work related, that you've, a lot of times, let's say that you work at a company and you're so into your department and what you're doing that you don't even realize that up on the seventh floor, there's a department that does this other thing that you would be amazing at, because it's just, you haven't really explored that. And it's kind of that, it's like this new idea of like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. And that's something I would be great at. So that's kind of beyond your control, is that this new thing just kind of seeps in, this new thought, new idea, a new way of communicating because of this opportunity that's coming up for you. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Well, I hope your secret desire is just your ultimate happiness, because here's the Sun card. So this is one of the happiest cards in the deck. And, I told you, whatever at the beginning, whatever this is, this idea, you are going to love this idea. You're going to be like, what? I love this opportunity. I think, and I think from looking at all the little details, you're getting ready to make this move. You're gathering all the details. We're going to try to wipe out that self-doubt. In fact, take this Page of Swords and let him just take the sword right over through that card, because the advice is, don't let that self-doubt get to you or get in the way of your success, because just look at all of the other, everything else is saying yes. So I hope again that this is your secret desire, is that your ultimate happiness is really, that's where we're all trying to get. So is this thing a stone in your stepping stones on the way to that? You might want to really think about that and think about how saying yes to this might affect you long term. It might even just be a temporary project or a temporary thing that you're going to be involved with, but it might again be a good stepping stone for longer term things. And your outcome this week is the Justice card, which is the card of truth. And I'm looking at these cards here, and look how all three of these are just looking. This is you looking at yourself in the mirror. Can you handle that sort of responsibility? Can you ask the right questions to prepare to take on that responsibility? And in the end, can you handle the truth of what comes through that responsibility? Now, also, I will say there's the devil also in that same kind of position, but all of those, and that devil is asking you to look at the self-doubting parts of it as well. And that just might be your biggest obstacle to overcome, is can you be positive through this? And can you, work on a way so that your mindset matches the person that thought of you to even bring this to you, because they definitely have faith in you. All right, what's hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups. So this is a card of grief and sadness, and that's hidden from you this week. So, I feel like, again, you're gathering the information. This new journey is definitely on your mind. It's a win-win forecast. I think the person that asks you wins. You doing whatever this project is wins as well with it. Again, the only negative, and I don't even see this as a negative, but it's you learning how to conquer that self-doubt and how to conquer your own insecurities so that you can come out on top and be very happy and live in truth and light, which is really, that should be all of our goals. So Sagittarius, I love this reading for you. I mean, I think it's just full of really interesting things. I'd be very curious to know, what you're approached with by someone this week, if that's how it comes up. I do feel like it's something or someone from your past that brings this to you. So let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Sagittarius as they make this decision about a new journey here, which I think is always exciting. Forgive and forget. Okay, so forgive and forget. I'm trying to think of what that's. Look at that little devil tail on the end of that card there. Interesting. Forgive and forget. And is that going to help you manage this devil? Isn't his tail up on here somewhere as well? I can't remember. No, I don't see it anywhere. Anyway, there might be something, and maybe it's just maybe there's a past failure or something that's really getting in the way, and that you need to forgive yourself for and forget so that you can move on and be successful at this thing. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care for Sagittarius. Self-care, March 15th through the 21st. Okay, and the card that you get is friend. Be a good friend to yourself. Be as good a friend to yourself as you are to others. Okay, so is a good friend going to have this self-doubt? No. Think about that. Those words that you say to yourself, those words that we say inside of our head too, is that something a good friend says? No. Let's try to block those out and let that positive, again, if someone has tapped you for this, or someone from your past believes in you enough to think that you can do that, then you just borrow a little bit of their confidence from them and move ahead, get ready, and see if you can handle this new journey. See if you can juggle it. Again, it might be something that's temporary, or I'm not seeing any long-term type cards here. I mean, the Emperor can build long-term things. But I do, I don't know. I can't even really put a time frame on it, but think about it. If it's something that is going to lead you to more light and truth, which that's what we're all seeking. So really think about this new journey. And if you want to take it on, it looks like a really good stepping stone for you. So Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. Again, I hope there's something you can take away and use in this reading in your own life in a positive way this week. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below and let me know, were you approached, or did something from your past bring you to this decision point about something that it looks like you're just going to love, this new journey, whatever it may be. I'd be real curious to hear about what that is for some of you out there. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will definitely bring you back to me next week, and you can find where this situation may continue, or maybe there's a new energy here altogether for you next week. So thank you so much for being here once again, Sagittarius, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.